Hello, this is Bill Levinson with Levinson Productivity Systems. Thank you for listening to this video, and what we're going to talk about is principles of green manufacturing and sustainable manufacturing. The general learning objective is to use Robert A. Heinlein's term from Stranger in a Strange Land to grok, which means to understand so thoroughly that the observer becomes a part of the observed. In other words, to understand internally. And what we're going to look at is universal principles versus specific techniques to implement green and sustainable manufacturing. Next to specific learning objectives or takeaways, first we're going to look at green manufacturing in the language of money, how it affects the bottom line. That's how you sell any program to upper management. Next is to internalize a universal working definition. And third, learn to identify waste, whether of material or energy, but especially material, on site. Now here's a discussion question, and the answer will be a surprise unless you've read one of our books or attended one of our seminars. This is definitely going to come as a surprise to you. Who invented green manufacturing and who invented sustainable manufacturing? A lot of talk about green manufacturing, sustainable manufacturing, but not too many people tie these concepts to a specific inventor. Okay, who invented green manufacturing? Now, we can tie many other concepts to specific inventors and developers. Everybody knows that Frederick Winslow Taylor is the father of what we call scientific management. Frank Gilbreth is connected to motion efficiency. Statistical process control is from Walter Shewhart at the Western Electric Company. Six Sigma is associated with Motorola and also General Electric. Toyota Production System is associated with Taiichi Ohno. Although Taiichi Ohno didn't actually invent it, he adopted it from its actual inventor. But we don't see anyone here for green manufacturing, so the question is, who invented green manufacturing? It speaks for itself. Henry Ford, the founder of the Ford Motor Company, developed what we now call green manufacturing. And also, on the last page of his book, My Life and Work, he introduces the concept of sustainable manufacturing. And now we're going to look at Henry Ford's bottom line. I mentioned that Taiichi Ohno didn't actually invent what we call the Toyota Production System. Taiichi Ohno says openly that he copied it from Henry Ford's system, and also he got the idea for just-in-time manufacturing from American supermarkets, whereas things are depleted, they're reordered, but before they actually run out, so you always have some in stock, but you never have an excess. One thing Ford did that was very impressive is the way he wrote. He didn't write for people at the MBA or PhD level or even at the college level. He wrote for people on the front line, people doing the job on the front line of the business. So this promotes, we said we were going to grok, or completely understand and internalize, the concept of green manufacturing, and Henry Ford provides the means to do this. Okay, upper management speaks the language of money. Now we're going to look at Henry Ford's bottom line results. $1 worth of Ford stock purchased in 1903 was redeemed for $2,500 when Ford bought his stockholders out in 1919. That's a 63% annual growth rate, not counting the dividends that were paid out along the way. We know of no investment today that will deliver that kind of return. The unions like to claim that they're the ones who gave us the 5-day, 40-hour work week. The Ford Motor Company was not unionized when Ford introduced the 5-day, 40-hour work week back in the 1920s. He was able to reduce the work week from 48 hours to 40 because it was possible with his efficiency methods to get all the work done in that amount of time. There was also unprecedented hourly wage and wage growth. creation of entire new industries, and it was during that period that the United States superseded the United Kingdom as the world's most powerful nation, both economically and militarily, and this was due to Henry Ford's industries. So now we're going to summarize Green in the language of money. To begin with, Henry Ford could have legally at the time dumped into the river whatever waste wouldn't go up his smokestack. However, his practices could probably have qualified him for registration to the ISO 14001 Environmental Management System standard, which of course was not invented until the 1990s, and he made an enormous money by doing so. The next part of this video will talk about Ford and the 4 R's: refuse, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Ford was doing all of those back in the 1920s, if not before. Thank you. This is the end of the first part. The second part will start, or you can click on it to begin the second part of the video.